take you through the conversation. So once again, many thanks for taking out your precious time. And so let's begin.
Cool.
So, while you don't need an introduction for those listeners who want to know a little bit more about you, a quick introduction about you. So, Ruchita started out as an advertising professional working with advertising agencies such as Vyas, Creative, RK Swami, BBDO, and Mudra until 2010, where she took some time off to take care of her boys. Shortly after that, she decided to create a small group on Facebook for new mothers, and which she named as First Mom Club, and often we know that FMC. So a platform for the moms to bond over similar experiences and help one another. The group evolved into a thriving community and today connects lakhs of Indian moms across 100 countries. Such an incredible platform, I must say, Ruchita. Ruchita is also known as a Chief Mommy Officer of First Moms Club, and with an growing presence on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, as well as its own website, www.firstmomsclub.in. Ruchita began First Moms Club with the firm belief that only happy mothers can raise happy children. Absolutely, because we are the anchor of our own families. To that end, the community strives to offer support to the women behind the mother to make the early stages of parenting and childhood enjoyable and enriching for her and her child. And from early on, this platform has been a safe space for them to be able to express their views without any fear and judgment. I think in today's scenario, when there's a lot of pressure and a lot of concern on mental health, we really need such platforms where we get a unbiased opinion, and where we are not being judged, and but we are being accepted the way we are. So I think FMC. Yeah.
Sorry, I'll be honest. It's not always not judge, because when there are so many women in a group,
Yeah.
there will be some judging and
Correct.
there will be some conflict. But the idea is that there shouldn't be. And that's why it's important to have communities where it should be highlighted that yes, sometimes there are people who will have these emotions and they will, have these conflicts, but let's encourage and support each other more than we make these stereotypical statements. Oh, woman is a woman's worst enemy and all that stuff, right? So the idea is let's change the narrative.
Change the whole perception that women supporting. Absolutely. And when I said judge, I essentially meant that at least when I'll be there, at least there'll not be any bias to begin with. Usually when you talk to your family member, you try to maybe they have some already they have some opinion about you, but when you interact, and then when you have such an incredible community, there's a lot of women, you'll understand that you are not alone. In your journey, the pain which you are facing, many have sailed through it, and everybody has their own resilience and their own mechanism. So I think sharing that also makes your journey relatively easy.
Big difference.
And and at the end of it, it is our fight only, it's our journey, but it's just that how we make it more joyful and smooth.
Correct.
So absolutely wonderful. And as I said, your book is also very much has been liked by so many women. It's the best gift we can give to women out there, and all the mothers, and it's just absolutely wonderful. And for the listeners who are yet to buy this book, trust me, this is a must read, and it has just all the emotions, and you're going to resonate with any and every story. My favorite being that Gyan story, because I know, before even the child is born, so much of Gyan people will give, whether they know or they don't, right? But, each one to their own. But I think the very beautifully all have been put together, and, you feel that you are also living through the book, through the chapters, through the stories. So it's beautiful. It's just absolutely like you'll think that your story has been put up there, and how, something like that.
True. Something will really reach out to you and say, "Oh my God, this is just like what I went through."
Yes. And I could have dealt this way, or this happens. This is natural, and I'm not alone in this journey. So as I'm saying, this is like. And when you read, you just feel that, it just goes in a flow, because, you just can't stop once you start. So absolutely wonderful, a must-read khichdi for Desi Mom Soul, served with a lot of love from First Mom Club. So a quick introduction about the book. So for the listeners, those who are yet to buy, This is going to be a bestseller very soon, and it's already, I think, everybody's just loving it. So
Thank you.
imagine what happens when over 100 Desi moms across the globe come together to share their motherhood journeys. You create a spicy and a heartwarming khichdi for the Desi mom soul. Just like khichdi, motherhood is made up of varying ingredients in different moms. Especially in the book, the writer mothers hail from exceptionally diverse backgrounds. Yet they are bound together with motherhood, a common thread that is hilarious, memorable, and even tear jerking stories and experiences. So it does not matter if you are married, single, divorcee, or adoptive mother. If there's somebody who calls you mom, then this is the perfect book you can read. You'll feel very happy and it can be your best companion. So go on, take a bite. This khichdi really, really awaits you. And so, dear listeners, let's give it up for Ruchita and just start with the Q&A round. So my first question, or perhaps I would begin with congratulating you because this is
Thank
such
you.
a wonderful book. The cover, the design, will definitely going to speak more about it. So as we all know that khichdi is very good for our physical health, and you know I'm no and the way people are loving this khichdi. So how did this idea came to you, and you have been doing a very noble work already, connecting so many like-minded women, so many needy women, and now with this book, how did this idea came to you?
So I mean, Abreka, you know that I've been running this community. We are in our 12th year now, so we
Correct.
complete 12 years in October actually. And the trust and the love and the faith that moms have shown on FMC, it's very heartening, and it's also because they've opened up so much about their lives, shared their stories, and every time, I've always been a reader. I love books, and every time I would see these stories, I really wanted to save them and savor them for later, because like you said, you will see something that
Correct.
you've gone through, right? And so many times some of the moms would ask me that you never put a question out there, like you never
Mhm.
ask anything. So I always say that, before I can put a question or I'm thinking, sometimes you just go on the group and there's already someone who's asked the
Correct.
question and you get the answer.
Correct.
And I would always want to save it. And as I saw, there was a pattern, and I saw there were so many moms sharing all kinds of story, right? I mean, motherhood is not always hunky dory. It's not always happy, and how they show in ads or movies. There are the low points. There are the depressing points. There's postpartum. There are other difficulties. There are difficulties in bringing up children, special needs. There are women going through troubled marriages. So there are. It's like it's like a varied range. And I just thought that, how about getting a book together and taking these little snippets from everyone's life so that we can also reach out to other moms who are beyond our network, right? Because right now only the moms who are, say, on First Moms Club see it and all. And also, everything on the internet, while it always stays, but it's also very transient, and it's so,
And
one new story comes and everything goes away. It's like trends, right? Something is trending and then something becomes old, and then good things are lost. But something like maybe I'm like a old timer, but I just love the feel that there is a book, there's something that's will be there always, and people can kind of keep it with them. So yeah, so the idea really came up from that. It was just one of those things, and I think COVID gave us this time for me and my team to reflect on, think of what we really want to do. We were fortunate that we got a publisher who came on board very quickly. We didn't, like, I'd heard horror stories about people going and
publishers. Yeah.
public, like giving Hajar letters, getting rejected and all. With us, we were, I think they'd never done something like this. So I think they were also ready to explore and experiment with our kind of book, which is an anthology.
Correct.
So yeah, I think it was, I mean, I feel like we did great work during COVID. And I keep saying this, that I wish I'd done it like 5 years ago, but it took a pandemic for me to really wake up and say, okay, let's do it. But I'm so glad that it happened, and I'm glad that for the love that we are getting for the book from everyone. That's
Absolutely,
even more amazing.
absolutely. Yeah. And COVID actually, gave us a pause in our life where we honestly introspect. And you rightly said there's a lot of on internet, but I think it's enough of, digital gadget exposure. And this book acts as a manual. So,
Correct.
whenever, and the stories are so beautiful. So it's not that you have gone through maybe something, in future some consequences or some circumstances
Correct.
would be like that. So
Correct.
this is going to serve as a manual, and that's why I was saying this is a must in your library at your home. This has to be there because you may refer it at any point in time, and
Yes,
it has all shades of life covered and all
it
different
is.
emotions kept, put beautifully, and they're as real as they can be. And they're
They
very
are. They
real. They're
absolutely
so
real. And
real.
because they are real moms, right? There's no made up. These are all
Yeah,
moms like
yeah,
you and me who
correct,
are writing it. And
correct.
and if you see the book, it has long stories, short stories, sometimes some stories only three, four lines.
Very,
But the
yeah,
idea was also to reach out to moms. Everybody's not a reader, and people don't
correct,
have the patience to read lamba lamba stories nowadays. But we just thought that whenever the mom opens the page, opens any part of the book, kahin se bhi, like she can just open in the middle, she can read one or two story and it makes her day. That was the idea.
correct.
So you don't even have to be a
Absolutely,
reader, you have to be an absolute non-reader bee, but just pick it up and
correct.
read a story and it'll pep you up, or and make you think or whatever. So the idea was to actually have like all kinds of stories, long, short, medium size. It's like really like a masale ka dabba actually. I would say, where
No,
you're
no,
trying to
masale ka
really
dabba,
tell.
and it came exactly at the right time. I'll tell you why. Because post COVID, suddenly the schools started, and during that also. So I think things were getting overwhelming, and so, and especially for women, we need to
Hmm.
do so much multitasking and all that. So I think such kind of books really pep us up, and they're awe inspiring. What you say, that we can sail through. We have done so much, and we can certainly do. So I think this came just at the right time, and from the right people, and I just hope that all people read it. So even if they are wrong, they'll
Thank
become
you
right.
so much.
So this is just as I'm saying, a must in everybody's library, and every mother at least has to give it a try. So what is so I understood that COVID gave you this time to introspect, and obviously you're in 12th year of FMC, and you see such help being sought from that platform, and benefiting lakhs of women. But still, what was the real inspiration behind the book, apart from your the causes, the noble causes which you work for? But what was your there, and if there's anybody you want to dedicate this book to?
Actually, there are too many people, and there was no one person, Abreka. I think every mom, because every time, and I think, see, when we are going through a tough time, especially whether it's in our motherhood journey or as
Mm-hmm.
women, or in our life is not always smooth. We always
Correct.
feel like, oh my God, this is like what I'm going through is the shittiest possible thing that I'm going through, or this is the worst than anybody else. But sometimes when you see other people and you realize their struggles, and you feel that and we don't realize our privileges, we don't have a sense of gratitude quite often. So honestly, and also I think we learn from each other. So for me, I've never really had one single guru. I feel like you learn from everybody, from children, from older people, from contemporaries, from all kinds of people, right? So I feel every mom who had the strength and the vulnerability to share her story on our community was an inspiration for me. And there are many that were amazing, many which were very lovely or funny, or so I think all moms who were, and also I have much gratitude for everybody who agreed to share their stories on our book, right? Because it's not, sometimes
It takes
it's very
guts.
personal, right? I mean, there are moms who have shared their depression stories, that's
Correct.
about mental health, and I think it's very, very brave on their part. It's not easy to come out and say, but they had that faith, so I think everybody was an inspiration like that. And I really don't have one person to kind of do this and say that, okay, this one person, so there's, of course, my mother, my husband, my children, my friends, people who've supported me, the editor of the book, everybody to thank, my little small team that has worked on it relentlessly along with me. And of course, I think it also, there were some delays. So we had to be very patient. So I think COVID also taught us that, right? It taught all of us to be little patient, and it kind of, so originally, when we started working on the book, we didn't have a chapter about motherhood during quarantine, but
Uh,
then we introduced it because I think it was a very, very important part, and there were
and a
so
new
many.
thing.
it was so new, right? I mean, there were funny things, there were weird things happening to all of us. So we
I know.
actually introduced that chapter while we were in pandemic. We said because ऐसा हो नहीं सकता है that we come out with the book soon after the pandemic and we don't have a chapter about it.
Correct, correct.
So yeah, so I think I would say that everyone has inspired me to curate this book for.
So as you said that pandemic chapter, so it was I think one of the nicest tadka in the khichdi, of the stories we had. It really added to the flavor and the aroma. So absolutely, this is just beautiful, and as beautiful the book is and the stories is the cover. So how did you think of this title and this cover? I mean, this is absolutely
Uh,
amazing.
so the thing is, so I won't lie. I mean, like, how we'd all, I think as young people, we'd all read Chicken Soup for the Soul and stuff like that.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
I realized that the book was similar in that sense, but I also realized that, motherhood is your comfort food. I mean, when we all become moms, we have, or before we become moms, and if you've been dreaming of becoming a mom, you have a certain picture in mind, and you feel
Correct.
like it's all going to be very
Correct.
glamorous. But it actually, like, it's like I say that we all think it's going to turn out to be like a risotto or a pasta, but actually it becomes like this sweet, humble khichdi.
I know. I know.
There is nothing designer about it.
And sometimes it gets burnt.
Exactly.
Mm, mm,
And
mm.
and you put, and the good thing is, just like khichdi, like how especially in a country like India, right? We all belong to different states and
Yeah,
places, and our language
yeah.
is different. So everyone's khichdi might taste
Taste
different,
different.
but
Yes,
it's still khichdi. It's still
correct,
very nutritious and it's very satisfying. And so is motherhood. While you might be everybody might be a different kind of mother, and people come up
correct.
with all kind of tag, helicopter mom and this mom and that mom. But at the
Huh,
end of the day, at the core, all of us want our children to be happy, healthy,
correct,
and you want to be good mothers, and so that doesn't change, and that's how I realized that that's what people were doing when they're collecting on any community. That's what they connect, because there is a common bond. We want the same things at the end of the day, right? So I think I just felt it was like comfort food. It's something that we all go back to our roots. Khichdi is something that we all have either grown up eating in our grandparents' house, or like, or at home.
correct.
And as much as a young person, you might say, oh, it's not cool. But when we become mothers, then we again go back to making some kind of khichdi for our children or families. So it's somehow, when I coined the name, it just spoke out to me. And when I shared it with the team, everybody thought it had a good sound to it. Even our publishers, nobody wanted any change. They sometimes say, "Acha, ye change kar do, wo change kar do." But everybody, and it's quite a long name, right? Khichdi for the
Correct.
juicy mom soul. So I was initially like, "Oh my God!" But I just thought it had a nice sound to it, and everybody liked it. So I guess it worked. And the cover
Absolutely, absolutely.
was also
Yeah.
something that, so like that I was in advertising, so I had a certain vision in my mind of how it should look, and it should be funny. Like, if you see, every chapter has a little bit of a
Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah.
illustration and all that.
Yeah, correct.
So luckily, Shamika, who's our
Mm, mm,
illustrator, who's
mm.
worked on some amazing books. I mean, she's
Yeah.
illustrated for Ruskin
Mm.
Bond and a lot of
Oh.
Indian authors.
Mm.
I think I should even say a special thanks to her, because she had to be patient with me, because I can be very particular about how I want something to look like, because I'm a designer myself. So, but it was fun. It was fun creating. It was fun going back and forth and saying, "Acha, ye chahiye, wo nahi chahiye." And I got exactly what I had visualized, and Shamika was able to translate it in a
Yeah, it
book.
has come up so beautifully. The illustrations are so apt. They're funny at
Yeah,
times. They
yeah,
are very
yeah.
subtle. So very,
Correct,
very,
correct,
very beautiful curated, I think. And trust me, even in a book, these illustrations add a lot of value, because you
they do.
visually you are able to see them and feel that. So
Correct,
very, very,
correct.
I think, beautifully curated, and as I said, right ingredient for any khichdi. So no matter you eat whichever khichdi you eat, a rice khichdi or a oats khichdi, this khichdi is going
This
to
khichdi,
serve
yeah, yeah.
is applicable to
It's
you.
yeah, it's like motherhood. Whatever ingredient you
Yeah,
put, वो tasty बन ही
yeah,
जाता है. So
yeah.
that's what it is.
Correct,
That's
correct,
how I
correct,
connected the
correct.
dots.
Absolutely. No, no, beautiful. So, now that we are in 12th year of FMC and you've been doing incredible
Yeah,
work there, with this book also, the testimonies that, how people are connected, and how, while you said that on the platform with lakhs of women, they are judgmental, but if women are coming out and speaking about their depression and such thing, I'm sure that that kind of faith they have in this medium to
Yeah.
come out in public. Also, they will also be in turn the ambassadors. Now people can also reach out to them,
True.
maybe to understand that how and all those things.
Yeah.
So I think now what more? What are your more future projects, and what can we see in the
Uh,
pipeline?
so I always tell everyone, I also myself don't know what I'm going to do next because I'm very spontaneous like that. But yeah, I mean, I think as long as FMC, so I'm not greedy like, oh, we have to have that many members and this and that. As long as it's quality connections, I'm happy. Because there are many mommy groups compared to when we started off versus now, and everybody likes being on many mommy groups. So some mommy groups, you know,
Will
fulfill
overlap.
some, yeah, and it's very similar, so I think the idea is as long as we can be a meaningful support group for mothers, I
Correct.
think that's great. Keep doing. I'm very clear that I want to now focus on trying to help women getting back to work, women wanting to do start their own enterprise, or anything that helps and supports the mom and the woman behind the mom is always our number one priority. I would love it if more moms come out and share their stories. We would love to have a series in this entire range. Like we would love to have a volume two in the Khichdi for the Desi Mom Soul.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So because we've already going in for a second print right now, and
Oh, yes.
we should have our books out in right now. It's only available online on Amazon and Flipkart and Tree
Correct.
Shade. That's our publisher's website, but it'll soon be available in stores, and I think that'll
Wow.
be great. I think just to see the books in the bookstores, right? That'll
I
be
know.
very
I know.
exciting.
Very,
So
very
yeah. So
proud.
I mean, that's something that I think for the next 1 or 2 months we will, do a lot more activity around our book. We are planning lots of things in our 12th year, which is the next
Correct.
month. So I think people should watch out for that. And like I said, as long as we can meaningfully connect moms across the globe and people find us valuable, I think our job here is done. I always feel even if I help or our community can help 5, 10, maybe even one mom, I'm great. I mean, I'm happy with that. That gives me enough happiness.
Absolutely. So very honest approach, and I think that honesty reflects, in the faith people show, the love they show in your platform, and in fact the book also. And listening to you, it shows that how much deeply you're connected and how genuinely you would want. So I wish you many many congratulations and a
Thank
lot of
you.
success, and may we have like multiple volumes, and we continue eating khichadis and stay healthy forever. So wishing you lots of luck here. So Ruchita,
Thank
as I
you.
said that it's so wonderful listening to you, and we can speak a lot because very rarely you get such honest and humble human beings, because there's a kind of a rat race, as you said, a lot of mommy groups and all that. So while each one to their own and they all have the
Yeah,
different rationals, but your vision is very clear that you want to support the women behind the mother, and no
true,
matter what, it could be as trivial as just suggesting something, or just to
true.
listen to them. It could be
Yeah,
as
yeah.
trivial as
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
or
it can be
could
as
be
something where the
yeah,
mom just comes and vents or just takes
yeah,
it off. That's fine. I mean, as long as it
mm,
makes her feel better, 2 minutes later,
yes.
it's fine. If it
Yeah.
helps her, that's great.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. The kind of stress levels we have, we really don't. We have everything. I've seen so well-to-do women. So it's not about money. It's about the inner peace, right? So I've seen a lot of women, but they're struggling because they don't have anybody to actually, maybe vent out, or
Yeah.
get hurt. So I think you and your community is doing incredible work, and we all are grateful to be knowing you or having such honest communities. And I just request all the listeners who are not part of First Moms Club, just do enroll. It's a fabulous place, and as Ashita said, there's a lot much excitement coming up next week. So even I'm looking forward. But I won't let you go like this, Ashita. I have a quick rapid for you, and you
Okay.
just have to
Okay.
answer it
All right.
without thinking much.
Will I get a
Yes.
hamper after this or not, Abrekha? That's the $1 million question. ये rapid fire के
No,
बाद hamper मिलने
no,
से पहले कुछ करण जौहर style.
you'll get all the ingredients for another khichdi at home. Yeah. So I'll be sending you rice and dal and whatever. Okay.
ठीक है.
Okay. So you prepare khichdi at home. Yeah. So
Hmm.
quickly. So what angers you and what gives you hope?
Injustice towards women. I think every time I read in the paper of anything, rape against women, children, it just boils. It makes me really, really angry. And what gives me hope is again seeing women all over doing really well. young women, when I see the next generation who have so much, who are clearer than we were about what they want in life, that gives
Absolutely.
me hope. That truly gives me hope.
Absolutely. That the landscape
Yeah.
is going to change now. People
It
be
should.
ready.
High
Yeah.
time. High time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
high
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, two things you wish that people know about you.
Oh. Okay. Oh, I can be a big procrastinator. I can be
Okay.
yeah, I don't think I shouldn't let people know that, right?
Mhm.
And what else? I mean, uh, I think I don't take myself seriously, and I don't want anyone else also to take themselves too seriously. And I wish people knew about that because sometimes they feel like, oh, this and that, and I'm like, okay, just chill, let's enjoy life, and just like move on. And everybody's doing, I feel everyone's doing amazing things in life, so I'm not doing anything really that amazing. I think people are doing far, far more amazing things in life. So yeah. So I get very
No,
embarrassed
no,
when someone says that, oh, this and that, and you're doing
no,
such
no.
great
You
work.
are,
I
you,
actually
you are doing
so I
absolutely
get
great work.
I get damn embarrassed actually.
No, no, no. You don't speak. Your work speak volumes. So that's the case, and you are
I hope
definitely
so.
doing you and
Yeah.
your platform, your team. So absolutely, you all are behind happiness of a lot of women. So your quick
Thank you.
advice on self doubts, or how do you face rejections and show?
Uh, so I think all of us do have sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. So I wouldn't say I never had self-doubt. I think,
Yes,
but the important thing is to keep doing what you're doing and never giving up. Be a little stubborn about things, and I'm using the word stubborn because be I don't know, be just at it, whatever it is. You can take a break once in a while, but don't doubt yourself. If your gut says that this is what you need to do, whatever, whether it's work, family, relationship, just be at it. That's what I would say.
yeah. You just need to realize your happiness, that where it lies, and you have to focus, and
Yeah,
you have to balance. Is what
correct,
I think.
correct. Sorry,
You
what was
being
the
happy.
second question? I forgot. You said
How to face rejections?
I face
Yeah, the
rejection
same.
with humor, but no, no. I think
Mhm.
it's important to keep doing something, keep staying busy. Not wasting your time and not mulling over what happened in the past and keep
Moving
looking
forward,
forward.
yeah,
And yeah,
yeah.
that's important. Yeah,
Switching your sunshine and distracting yourself, and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
just focus on
Always,
the
always. I
sunshine.
think it's
Yeah.
also important for women because I think quite often we get so lost in our motherhood journey. So either you have a career or a passion or a hobby or something that we should always keep at it, like
Pursue.
which is pursue, which
Absolutely.
is beyond motherhood, because that's not the only thing you should do. And I'm not saying that, oh, everybody has to work or anything, but if you can, definitely have
Mm.
something which is not just motherhood. Have an identity of your
Absolutely,
own. It
absolutely.
helps.
Because, yeah, if you ask me, I mean, I think, you have one life, right? Okay, fine, you're a mother, so, you are doing that role perfectly well. But alongside, you're a human being, you're a woman before. So,
Exactly.
try to understand where your real happiness lies, and if there's any hobby, nothing like that. I think that will help you channelize any kind of negative energy, or, anything which,
Exactly.
and helps you strengthen and, move ahead. So,
Yeah.
describe yourself in 3 words.
Spontaneous, creative, talkative.
Absolutely wonderful. Okay. Okay. So, one final question before we just conclude this beautiful evening. A final message to the listeners from your end, apart from eating
Oh.
and reading khichdi.
Of course, they have to all buy the book. All have to
Yes.
read. Have to give us
Yes.
feedback on how it is, so that if you're
Yes.
working on the next one, we know what to include, what not to include.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But I think what we spoke about, women and keeping yourself busy and and kind of having something that is beyond motherhood, which will only enrich yourself and your motherhood
Correct.
journey. And I think also it's important to share. Don't try to feel that you can do it all, because I think women are made to feel that we are multitaskers, so we
Correct.
can do everything. We don't need to
Yeah.
depend. But I think it's
Yeah.
important, like the old saying, right? It takes a village to bring up a child. So okay,
Correct.
maybe not a village always available, but whoever, mother, friend, whoever you can, or
Correct.
even online support groups like ours, wherever you can find that support,
Correct.
do reach out. Don't try to be a super woman or super human being. uh, hota nahi hai, it's not worth it.
Correct.
So I think it's important to be vulnerable, and there's strength in that. So yeah,
Correct.
that's it. Just and be happy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So thank you so much, Ruchita. This was
Thank you so
absolutely
much.
insightful.
And I
And
want a story from you for the next one now.
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. I'll be more than happy, and it will be a honor to be part of Khichdi 2, part 2.
Khichdi part two. I know. Thank you
Mhm.
so much,
So
Sabrina.
thank
Thank
you
you so
so
much.
much and have a great evening. And thank you all our
You
listeners. A
too.
very good night. Thank you very much,
Good
Ruchita.
night.
Good
Bye
night.
bye.
Bye bye. Bye.